And then what are you going to do? How long is going to be the franchise? That's very important. In some cases, you might have a 5-year franchise license. And then in other cases, you might have 10 years or more, depending what the franchise agreement states. So you need to make sure that your lease agreement concurs with the franchise agreement. It's important to have that. So, for example, if you have a 5-year lease, okay, and then, but you have a 10-year franchise agreement, if you don't have an option to extend that lease for 5 years, you only have a 5-year lease and a 10-year franchise agreement, the landlord can choose not to renew your lease. And then what are you going to do? The reverse is also true. If you have a 10-year lease, because you're very optimistic, is this going to work? And then you have a 5-year franchise agreement with the option to renew the franchise agreement for an additional 5 years. If you have not defaulted in that franchise agreement for the last 5 years, then if the franchisor chooses not to renew that franchise agreement, you're stuck with a lease. So concurrency is very important with the franchise agreement and also with the lease agreement. They're two completely separate documents. And there's a lot of different agreements that if you clauses within the agreement that if you default on one, you default on the other one. And that's part of the main reason that why you need an attorney helping you with these agreements, because if you have no experience doing this before, you're going to be over your head buying a franchise and getting into a lease agreement as well. And it's going to be, the opportunity for failure are very high without the proper legal advice. And I've seen it, unfortunately. And these are things that can be avoided with proper planning.